All right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing this to be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect, all right, of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakathum. All right. So let's see. I was listening to the beloved elder Ashiyar, all right, out of North Carolina earlier today, and he was having this video. I mean, he had this video that he uploaded a day ago called "The Enemy is Wounded." You know what I'm saying? And with everything that we're seeing, all right, taking place, that's unfolding, you know what I'm saying, in these last days, you can't tell me that these jokers are not wounded. You can't tell me that these Edomites are not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like they are scrambling in a way, all right, in a way that pretty much exposes them even faster. You know, it's like everything that they're doing is only furthering, the problem. So let me get this real quick. In the book of Job. All right. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" Okay? And that's the thing that these Edomites are finding out, you know what I'm saying? Or that these Edomites find themselves in, you know what I'm saying? The world is realizing who they are, okay? Who they are not, I should say, and who they truly are, all right? The world is no longer seeing them as the hero. The world's no longer seeing them as the I say hero, but the the savior, if you will. The world's no longer seeing him as that. Okay, the world is seeing him as the problem. All right, the world is seeing them as the problem, which is what they are. You see what I'm saying? If not, where and who is he? You know what I'm saying? You got these jokers out here that's trying to say that that these Edomites are the so-called are the Japhites. All right, people are really trying to say that so-called white people are the Japhites, when that couldn't be any further from the truth, man. You see, and it pretty much stems from lack of study. All right, it stems from lack of study, lack of understanding of history. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much how this false doctrine has been able, you know what I'm saying, to persist throughout these years, man. You know, because it didn't just start now. You know, as a matter of fact, let me see. This is Job chapter 11 and verse 4. It says, "For thou hast said, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that the Most High would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that the Most High exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth." You know what I'm saying? And it's only according to the Lord's grace that we are able to have this wisdom, this knowledge, this truth. You know what I'm saying? The understanding that that these scholars today can't even keep up with. You know what I'm saying? Look around you. Look around you. All of these Edomites, okay? All these pastors, you know what I'm saying? These what's the word? These yeah, just say these church pastors, you know what I'm saying? They're all listening to the prophets. They're all listening to us. Beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down. They're listening to the correct doctrine, all right? They're taking cues from what we say, you know what I'm saying, the talking points or whatnot. You literally have, all right, an Edomite pastor, all right, someone who I perceive to be an Edomite, you know what I'm saying? He could be an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But he's talking about these Rothschilds, okay? He's talking about these Rothschilds, and he's actually tying them to Esau Edom. You see? And it went viral. It went viral. Our apostles, bishops, and elders have been saying this for years. Our apostles going on for 40 years, man. You see what I'm saying? Nearly 40 years this truth has been out, and nobody listened to the words of the poor man. You see? But now when this so-called white man goes out and he says the same thing, okay, now all of a sudden it's profound knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that no one's ever heard of before. You know? But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is going to set forth his apostles last. But the fact of the matter is that the truth is out, you know what I'm saying, and our enemy is wounded, as the elder said. Okay, our enemy is wounded. All right? Job chapter 14 and verse 5. "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." You know what I'm saying? And these devils are finding themselves in a very, very serious, serious, mess that they're in. All right, this is a problem for them. This is a major problem. All right, because they've done as much as they could to try and make sure that they wouldn't be found out. You know what I'm saying? And now that they've been found out, it's time to go. It's time to go scorched earth. You know what I'm saying? Full blown scorched earth. It's time to. It's time um to move forward with their plans. All right. Let me see. All right. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? You see? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. You see? All these Edomites are not going to be here anymore. When they're done serving their 1,000-year sentence, they will be eradicated and no longer needed. You see what I'm saying? And this is why these Edomites are fighting tooth and nail to try and keep this from happening. All right. So this is the elder's video. Okay. Elder Ashiyar, his YouTube channel is GMS All Precepts. All right. Name of the video is The Enemy is Wounded. All right. I encourage you to go and watch this video, man. It's highly edifying. Okay. Because our enemy is, he's on the ropes right now. You know, it's on the ropes. These jokers they're right at Iran's back, they're right at their front door. All right. They're right at Iran's front door. Okay. And they're finding out that there's nothing but complications with this operation. You know what I'm saying? Their biggest, aircraft carrier, you know what I'm saying, was a USS Ford. It's now having to go dock somewhere else for repairs because their toilets can't even be plumbing. You know what I'm saying? Their plumbing is off. Their toilets are ruined. There's mutiny on the ship. Nobody wants to go to war. You see what I'm saying? Their soldiers are complaining because they've been out for about a year. You see what I'm saying? So, this is not this is not the time for Esau to rejoice. You know what I'm saying? But he put himself in this position. Okay, he put himself in this position, man. You see what I'm saying? To where he cannot back out of this. He can't. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck in this quagmire. If he goes forward with the attack, let's say this, if he goes forward with the attack, you know what I'm saying? Then and it doesn't matter how big the scale. It doesn't matter how big the attack is, how small the attack is. Any attack period will result in Iran, all right, bringing out the full force of their power against America, the bases, you know what I'm saying, against Israel, you see what I'm saying? And it turns into a regional war. You see what I'm saying? And they're literally ready to pull that switch if America gets this thing popping. Okay? Then on top of that, you got the global markets that will melt down immediately. You see what I'm saying? Gas prices will shoot through the roof, all right, overnight, because they will close the Strait of Hormuz. You see, they will go completely, kamikaze with it, man. You see, everyone will feel it. That's what happens if America attacks. Now, if America doesn't attack, well, then this is all this bravado, all these weapons that they brought everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All these aircraft carriers, these fuel tankers. You know what I'm saying? These fighter jets, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of hardware, worth of weaponry. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it costs a lot of money to keep these assets in that region. Then on top of that, they're hundreds, all right, of miles away from any docking stations and whatnot. You know, places where they can refuel and all that. You know, it's just a disaster. But if they go back, okay, if they turn tail, then that ruins Trump's reputation. It ruins Trump's credibility. You see? Well, the only way out of this is to strike a deal, because they can't force Iran to capitulate because Iran's not backing down. And all of Trump's top advisors or top generals are begging him not to strike Iran because they know that the implications of the retaliation will be immense. You see what I'm saying? Global catastrophe. U.S. and allied soldiers, okay, having casualties. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. And then let's say that there's actually a deal that's struck. What kind of deal would that be? Other than going back to the same terms of the JCPOA, the very the very parameters that Obama had put in place, which Trump himself had backed out of in his first term. So it's nothing but just buffoonery on all sides, man. No matter which way this decision goes, all right, no matter how the decision goes, it's not going to be pleasant for America. You see, the Lord has this devil in checkmate, locked in checkmate, man, and he can't move. He can't budge. You see. Let me show you something real quick. Bear with me. All right. So years ago, okay, years ago, I brought out a video. I did a lesson called I believe it was called Convergence. I believe that's what it was called. Okay, Convergence. And I was going into the project that Esau had, known as Project Looking Glass. Okay, Project Looking Glass was essentially an early form of AI, an early form of artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because make no mistake, AI is not new. Okay, the type of AI models and things like that we're able to use, they've already had this years ago, many years ago. You see what I'm saying? But they've used calculations, they've used different algorithms, things of that nature to map out the course of scenarios, okay, of how the future could look. And every scenario that they punched in, every calculation that they pushed in, you know what I'm saying, it all would come to the same conclusion, okay, an outcome that they were terrified of, okay. And there was one man who was part of Navy intelligence, okay, and he was a very smart man, and he was having an interview with Project Camelot, and he said how they recruited him and his expertise, you know what I'm saying, his high IQ, if you will, all right. And they asked him to figure out if there could be any different outcome other than what this computer keeps telling them. Okay? And with all of his calculations, with all his brilliant mind, you know what I'm saying, um, he came to the same conclusion that the computer was giving them. Okay, that this same outcome will happen. It's inevitably going to happen no matter what input, no matter how you run it. Okay? And so, you know, according to the guy, the gentleman said that they just ended the program because it's like saying it's like what was it, the sorceress woman, you know what I'm saying, the queen, talking about mirror mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, you know what I'm saying, and the mirror keep telling her that somebody else is the fairest, you know what I'm saying, like they didn't want to hear that. Okay, if the computer keeps telling them the same thing that they don't want to hear. Okay, but he didn't know what this undesirable outcome was, but he speculated that what it could signify is that there would be a great awakening of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Given their their inclination towards living in the shadows, moving in the shadows, you know what I'm saying? That's what they have. They have the propensity to formulate secret societies, you know what I'm saying, and have these things done in the dark. Right? But what does the scripture say? The scriptures tell us, all right, that is not going to remain in the dark, man. Let me get this in Isaiah chapter 29. All right, Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 15. It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, He made me not? Or shall the thing framed say unto him that framed it, He had no understanding?" You see what I'm saying? And like I brought out in that video, you know, that lesson that I did years back, you know what I'm saying? I believe it was called Convergence or damn. Shit. I'm trying to remember what the name was called. But yeah, as I brought out in that video, you know, they don't want the elect to be established. They don't want the elect to be sealed. They don't want the truth to come out, you know what I'm saying, of who they are, what they do. But at the same time, the way that the spirit world works is that, you know, according to their own beliefs, they have to show you or tell you what they're about to do. Okay, it's known as revelation of the method. Revelation of the method. You know what I'm saying? And so, in doing that, they have to show their hand. And now, from what they've been doing, you know what I'm saying, how they've been moving around the world, all right, it was only a matter of time that the world would wake up. The world will wake up to what they were doing. Okay? And they would finally figure it out, and they would say no. You know what I'm saying? This is Isaiah 25 and 7. "And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations." Okay, this is the outcome that Esau feared the most, because they know what comes next now that the elect are sealed. Yahweh Shai returns.
So Project Looking Glass was a government operation to serve the elite class, to look into the future for the purposes of orchestrating the current state of being to shape whatever future they wanted. They could control the variables once they viewed the future to ensure that certain outcomes played out. But what they saw horrified them. They did not like what they saw in the future. And no matter how they tried to manipulate it, there was no future outcome that served them. What they saw was all possible timelines led to a convergence. Meaning that no matter what timeline they rode, no matter what option, there was only one outcome. And that outcome is light wins, and the ruling elite class is exposed and destroyed. That's what they saw that terrified them. And they tried and tried to punch as many holes through time and space as they could. That is what is going on with CERN. Trying to orchestrate or work out some other outcome. But there is no other outcome. There is no other outcome, is the problem. But what we are living through now, this chaos that we're living through now, is their final attempt to maintain control. These are their death rattles, because it is all falling apart, and there is nothing they can do about it. And they already knew, they already saw this was coming. So it's sort of a no-holds-bar fight now. They have nothing to lose. And they have to try everything they can think of. But there is no workaround to this situation because light wins. So I mentioned that to bring your awareness to, we're in the middle of a psyop right now. This is a psychological operative that we're living through right now. This is part of their strategy. This psychological operative is designed to make us feel helpless, hopeless, powerless, defeated. That's how they want us to feel. That's what they want us to believe. They want the current system to stay in place because they're the ones in control right now. They're the puppet masters. They want things to remain the same. And they want to dupe us into also holding on to the status quo.
And that's where you have, okay, Revelation 13, verse 16, okay. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in his forehead. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that no man might buy nor sell except he that had the mark and the name of the beast or the number of his name. So basically what you're looking at, what we're coming into, is a positioning where you're going to be initiated into this new world. They want you to initiate into this new world. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it works. Okay, just like the concept of the vampires, you know what I'm saying? They they pretty much emphasized it heavily in the movie Sinners, all right, with Michael B. Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Where a vampire cannot enter in unless you allow him in. You see what I'm saying? He can't enter in until you allow him. Well, that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? So when they start to mandate this, the CHIP, you know what I'm saying, this MOTB, this subdermal device, when they do that, that's going to be the initiation. All right, you're going to have to consciously agree to what they want. You're going to have to consciously accept, you know what I'm saying, their terms. No man might buy or sell save he that had this mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's going to be within this subdermal device, this chip that will be in either your hand or your head. Okay? That is the initiation.
We have to let the system fall apart. We have to let the system crumble. Because they're the ones running the system. And their time is over. So get your head in the game. Understand what is happening. Understand that when the world seems like it's falling apart, our governmental system seems like it's falling apart, when it seems like sanity has left the planet, this has to happen. This is part of the convergence. All of these wrongdoings, all of this evil has to be brought to light. And all these systems that have supported and housed and shielded these evil people, those systems have to come down. They have to come down. Don't fight for them to stay in place, because you are fighting for the elite to stay in power. We have to let the collapse happen. So, as we move through this chaos and uncertainty and uncomfortableness, remember, this is part of the convergence. This is what is supposed to be happening. And the outcome is light wins. There is only one possible outcome. There is no other outcome. The only possible outcome is light wins. And they know it.
And this woman might be a Jake, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, she's absolutely right. She is absolutely right. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is the outcome that they don't want. All right. They don't want specifically. You know what I'm saying? The prophets will tell you straight up what it is. All right. Specifically, what they are afraid of is the 144,000 and the rest of the elect having been sealed and set in order. You know what I'm saying? This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." You see what I'm saying? These devils are about to make their move, and they're moving fast. Okay, they are moving super fast because they know they don't have much time left. They know what those calculations said. They know what the outcome is. It's inevitable. They can't stop it. They're trying to stop it. Like she said, you know what I'm saying? What's going on with this with all these CERN activations? What's happening here? You know what I'm saying? They're trying to change the outcome. They're trying to stop what is coming. And they can't do it. You see what I'm saying? They cannot do it. All right. The Lord said that his days are numbered, man. You know what I'm saying? Set forth his bounds that he can't pass them. All right. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth." All right. And it's talking about the chariots. You see what I'm saying? The chariots of the Lord. So they can see through these telescopes. They can see through these sophisticated lens, things of that nature, that they can calculate light speed and this and that, you know what I'm saying, light years. They can see these chariots. They know very well who pilots these chariots. You see what I'm saying? They know what the scriptures say. And they see the prophets out here on the street corners and doing these videos. It says this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. You know what I'm saying? These devils know that it's coming. They know that it's coming, man. Let's go to Psalms. All right, Psalms chapter 50 and verse 20. It says, Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, which is Jacob. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And this is what's happening. These Edomites, from the Rothschilds to the Rockefellers, the Warburgs, to the Gettys, DuPonts, Oppenheimers, you see what I'm saying, Schiffer Groovers, the Ashtons, so on and so forth, man. All these 13 families of the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, they know what's happening. They see what's happening. They see the Lord setting his men in order before their eyes, and they're pissed off because they can't do anything about that. They can't do anything because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They know that there are spiritual boundaries, that there are rules. They know that there are rules in the spirit realm. You see what I'm saying? What did the Lord clearly say? Let's get this real quick. All right, this is Psalms. Psalms chapter 105 and verse 14 says, let me see, Psalms chapter 1, let's start at verse 13. Psalms 105 verse 13, it says, When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes. You see what I'm saying? As the Israelites was moving from one nation to the next nation to the next nation, all the people of those nations were terrified. They trembled in fear at us. You see what I'm saying? Because the Most High was with us. You see? And they knew that if you touched us, it was your ass. Verse 15 saying, Touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. You see what I'm saying? And they know that as long as Israel, as long as the Israelites are in sin or in iniquity, you know what I'm saying, we're not protected. This is why he pumps us with so much debauchery. He pumps us with so much abominations in our food. Unbeknownst to us. You see what I'm saying? That's why he'll say that this is organic when it's not. You see? This is why they put pork in almost everything that you touch. You see what I'm saying? These devils know full well, all right, what they're up against. You know? And like I said, it pisses them off that they can't do anything about this, because even with all of the things that they've done, all right, with the fact that they took our heritage from us, they took everything from our remembrance. Israel from the remembrance of the world. The world forgot about us. You see what I'm saying? Even after all this, all right, all the removing of these statues, removing of these artifacts, removing of these paintings, removing of these murals, removing of all these things. Okay? Whitewashing, all right, removing evidence, removing the manuscripts, removing all these things, written records. After all that, and here we are, the prophets have awakened, okay, and have taught this word. This word has gone forth. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians here in the States and all around the world, even looking like the other nations that they're scattered amongst, are returning to the Lord and are being galvanized through this word. And they're watching this and they're perplexed and they can't understand it. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they saw through Project Looking Glass. You see what I'm saying? And I found the video, the lesson that I did years ago. All right, 3 years ago actually. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Bear with me. All right. So this is the video that I did 3 years ago. All right, called "Convergence is Upon You, Edom." Okay, and of course I spell Edom, all right, that way on purpose. Um, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, that's the name of the video. Lord willing, I'll leave the link in the description, okay, of this video, so that you can click and you can watch. All right, or at least copy and paste the video. So anyway, I'm gonna cut that there, man. All right, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Our enemies are wounded, man. You know what I'm saying? And they know that there's no going back from this. You see? So, this has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.